What's up, YouTube? So we're on part three. We're actually doing the crankshaft today. Um, this is future me, believe it or not, but we've actually got it all together, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that in this video. Hope you guys can get through the audio and visual problems I had throughout this. A lot of background noise was messing me up, plus the mic being on the desk. So I actually 3D printed this little stand here so that I don't have all the audio, banging on the desk and stuff like that. So hopefully this is much better than before. But stay tuned and I'll show you what I ended up doing for this. May or may not have messed up. So on the crankshaft portion anyways, the holes are too small. 2mm does fit. M2 bolt does fit, threads and all. So I kind of changed my strategy. Instead of buying those roll pins, I was going to take these, and if you see right here, I actually cut it off to thread in here. Well, it does work, it does fit, and this is resin printed. This is the PLA. And the problem I'm having is on the PLA, I can show you here on the one of the pistons, it leaves a little dimple there, which I can sand it off. A little line that goes all the way down. I guess that's where the nozzle stops and goes the next layer. But what it's doing for this, if I can pull this apart, it's making it hard for the actual connecting rod cap to spin around. It actually stops on it. You can physically feel it. So I'm going to reprint everything, change some of the dimensions, especially, let me show you guys. These holes, I'm going to make them a little bit bigger, and I'm going to 3D print it on resin printer to make it smoother, because it is a heck of a lot smoother. Now it does leave a little edge here, which you'll see where I cleaned it off. But it does leave a little edge there. So what I'm going to do is print it on that one, make this right here a little bit bigger so that I have more, just slap this back together and show you, more room between the connecting rod and those two pieces right there. So I ain't got to worry about it rubbing against this. So need to figure out a way to connect these, because at first I thought I was going to take a through bolt, go through here, recess the hole right here, and come in like that. The problem with that being that's a lot of hardware, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be that strong. So what I'm going to do is take these studs that I made with the resin printer, make the pieces, glue these studs in there. So, like I said yesterday, so it doesn't have any weight, this is the test piece, and it's strong. Of course, these are screwed in. That's all I did. And basically, it's strong enough that it's not going to want to rotate around that. And I'll take 3D resin with the studs, so I can cut off a whole bunch of studs, about, let's say ½ inch, but yeah, about a ½ inch. ½ inch each, stick them in the holes so that they mate in there and mate with these circle pieces or the journals halfway in, and on the other side do the same thing and take 3D resin, and hopefully I can, because the only thing I have left is the clear resin. I don't have any more of this gray, so all I have is like crystal blue or crystal red. So what I'm going to do is take that, put a little dab around that, and hopefully I can activate it and glue these pieces together, and that will make these the hard parts. And basically I can do this. My whole connecting rod slash brain fart crankshaft. So that's my crankshaft. And right now I'm only going to make one cylinder, or a one cylinder engine, but I'm just going to make it so that if I wanted to, I can stack like 4 of them or 6 into a row and have a continuous engine. So for right now, we're just going to start with one cylinder. Once we got one cylinder engine done, because I'm going to do the valve train and all that stuff too. I want to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and 3D print it out of the resin, prep everything, and put it together, and I'll show you guys what I'm working with. Alright, so we're in the slicer, and we need to find our files. And I don't need to open the scene. I need to find the pieces that we just saved, which would be this one and this one. As cool as I want it to be, there we go. So I need to copy this, and what do we need? 2 of them. Well, yeah, I made too many. So that's done. And these will be a totally different color when I'm done. Matter of fact, I think they're going to be a bluish red crystal color, because that's what I was printing before. So I need to print 2 more of these. And what I'll do here and try to find there we go. And I made these. If you're interested in one, hit me up. Copy. 3 more. Making so we have the 3 pieces that we need for the crankshaft, and you know, my extracurricular here. So basically what I'll do is hit the slicer, which I don't know if you're going to be able to see how much time it's going to take, but it's going to take 1 hour and 9 minutes. So of course with this slicer you have to, unless you own the pro version of it, you have to look at ads every time you go to slice. But you know what? That's the cost of using free stuff. Not really mad about 20-second ad. I don't like watching ads on anything else though. We will name this Pizza Crank. Sounds like a fun night. As you can see, I have some parts just chilling where I've been messing around. Pizza and Crank. What a night. Alright, and you can see it's slicing. There we go. Alright, so I need to plug in the flash drive. This is the fun part. drag and drop files like a boss. Oh, here you go. Now you can see the time. Duh. Open folder. Got my flashy drive hooked up. I believe it would be this one. It is. Back up to downloads. We're going to slap that into that. Alright, now we're going to move on to the printer and print this jank. Flash drive on the Saturn S goes right here in the cut, which I guess I could make my setup a little more ergonomic, but this has been working. Of course, I have the PLA printer, carrying station, all that, and when I do cure stuff, if I'm printing, I put this in between just in case. But here we go, and it's just like an easy bake oven. What we're gonna do is find pizza and crank. Pizza and crank. Bam, gives you a little preview. All pow. And let's go. I'll bring you guys back in an hour or so. Alright. So, game plan is to take these, and I've taken a drill already. Yes, I know, I can use a drill bit. Oh, one of the bolts and use that to get the hole just right for an M2 bolt. So what I'm going to do is take one of these, which I've already prepared one, slide it through here. So we look here, it goes through there, and then goes into there, which lines everything up. You have 3 locations to line it up. So there's 2. Then you have the center point, which you can actually tighten down in there with your trusty Allen key here. So I got that. So there's 3 spots that this will be lined up with. Of course, now it's going to act a fool. So tighten it down. Tighten it down so that everything lines up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some 3D resin, put on the bottom layer. Because this stuff is clear. Hoping that this is going to seal it to this, which will make this one piece. Do the same this piece, making this one piece, so making the crankshaft one piece. So what I'll do is that first, line all that up. I should be able to, there we go. So now you can see what I'm doing. 3 locations that are going to make this connect to this perfectly. Line up. So my stroke, my piston connecting rod location should be pretty good. And like I said, I changed the file a little bit. So now we have that. This was the first rendition. Got rid of some of that chunk, which technically I probably can get rid of some more. But I think I'll be alright with this for right now. So I'm going to go glue this jank to this jank. Both of these together. And put it through the cure station. That's the only UV light I got. Start with that and see what I got. I'll bring you guys back and see how strong it is. Because I haven't seen anybody else do this. Not that I've seen anyway, so I'm sure someone's going to comment and be like, yeah, there's crap tons of people doing it. Well, I'll bring you guys back. So I got a little bit of red resin left. I'm going to pour it into this cap here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll actually adjust you guys. you can see what I'm doing. You can see all the dust from all the resin. What? Come on. You gotta have a couple drops in there. Oh, yeah. Show me what you got. Alright, I think that's gonna be enough right now. Just to see if this is gonna work. Let's pull this apart. Take that. Put that over to the side. Wipe it off, you know. That kind of guy. Open this up. Bolt drawer. Pop off. Use one of these M3 bolts to cover this. And I'm hoping that I can take the bolts out once it's all done, so that it is not stuck on there. Now put a decent amount there. There, wipe her off. Put you down. Got a little tray down here. I'll set it down. Bop. Alright, so here we go. This piece is going to connect to this piece. Alright, was I using this piece? Yeah, I was using this piece. Right. Now I'm going to put it in machine. In actuality, I need to wipe it off first. Now over here. Just to clean up the edges of this so it doesn't interfere with what I'm trying to do here. Like I said, I got a little tray down here. Trash. Let's put it in the curing station and see what happens. So it actually turned out pretty good. It's strong. I can't break it off of there. There's no flexibility to it. So moving on to the next step. And I've already pre-done this one. So same concept. All the pins-ish. We're going to line everything up so that it is one piece. And then we'll run it through curing station, as long as everything lines up here. I think I need more right around the edge here, so we'll get that in there. And I think this is going to work pretty good because it's clear. It's probably the only one it's going to work with. Make sure all this stuff's lined up. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna run it through the curing station real quick. I think got a little cattywampus here. Kinda hoping I can. Yep, that's what I wanted. Still some of it in there. But that's what I wanted to be able to do. Didn't work, but the other piece definitely sat on there pretty good. The problem with this piece, I get it straight. So what I'll do is clean this off because half of this isn't cured yet. And it peels right on off of there. Alright, so I need to do that again. Take my little napkin here, clean off the excess. Try again. Because that did not turn out the way I wanted it. Let me put the bolts in there again. One, bolt 2, bolt 3. What I'll do Oh, they're a little thicker, like. I did see a gap. That was one of the problems I believe was the problem with this not sticking and it lifting. So I need to get stuff on there better. I'll put a couple of drops on this piece too. Alright. Alright, sick. Ooh. Ooh. Almost fudged up. Alright, so piece number 2 is attached. It's actually attached pretty darn good. So I'm actually going to get the 2 crank journals done. It's pretty even. Pretty good. You can see a little bit of the glue that I used. Or glue, resin. I used one of the crank connecting rods to give it the space that it needs. All the way around. So that's the space that it has around it. So now we need to do these pieces. So what I'm going to do is make sure these nails can go through there. That is one that I'm using for that. And probably mean there we go. Alright, so need to get that on there. Need to get some glue on this bad boy. Get glue on there. Resin, whatever you want to call it. All the way around. Thick light. And it really, I've come to realize it really doesn't matter if you get it on the bolt or not. You can unscrew them out of there. Because this stuff, it's hard, but soft enough that it makes its own threads in it. So it's actually not too hard to get off. What I'll do is try to do a twofer here. Almost spilled that resin. Almost lost that battle. This gentleman. Run her down. Get her down in the hole. Hopefully it'll hold it down just a little bit snug. Just like that. And I'll do the same. Ooh. Uh-oh. Might have a foobar here. I should have. I should have went ahead and drilled that out. But I didn't. So luckily I have this here. That one's good. Definitely not bringing that in. That's good. Messy. Probably should be wearing a face mask on my desk. I'm sure I'll get a comment saying how hazardous this stuff is. Sure it is. I see professional painters not wear masks. And they're in their 70s. Just saying. Probably not for long, but they're in their 70s. so we got this one. Make sure everything lines up here. Ruh-roh. What am I do here? Back this one out. Come on. Problem is that they're really close together. So that's my design. Ain't anybody's fault but my own. But it seems to be working. Seems to be. It's just this one. There we go. Now that I got that, clean that off. Get some of this resin here. Put it on this. Oh, okay. Got some goodies on this side. Okay, let's get this lined up. Alright, the last hoorah here. Last bit in there. So, what we need to do is get the rod done first. These, actually, very simple to put together. They go together pretty good, actually. As long as you start on this side. One of these. Save the roll, and then this, get it to go in, and start fully flush, so it doesn't make contact. Let's see, flush. And the primary reason behind that is so that it can fit in cylinder piston bore, cylinder bore. Do that back side of that connecting rod. Once you do that, it loosens up. Then we'll hit the nut on the other side. It'll start. The lock nut. This side, set flush in there. Get a little tight first. Then I'm going to take a Dremel, after it's all said and done, flatten all this out. It's a good connection. And like I said, it's got some tightness, but if you move it around enough, it actually loosens up pretty good. Matter of fact, you can see a little bit of white right there. It kind of wears itself in. So I don't know if that's just where it was printed, if it's like the layers that are like right here at the base, similar to in here, but if I clean it up sometimes it does work. So what I need to do is now finish off the edges here. What I do with that is snips here. Watch it go shoot across the room. Same here. little bit on. Like I said, it's just from the resin printer. And I don't know why it keeps cutting off. Alright. The easy bake oven is done. Check that here in a second after I finish this connecting rod. Smooth, it's not. Make quick work of this with a Dremel. It'll also make a lot more mess than this. See, this has been my test piece here lately. But even this piece has got some imperfections on it. My file. I think the part number is M3 by 30. Boom, smooth, smooth. All right. Crap! I should have freaking put the nuts in already. This piece. But still can. They sit in there like that. They fit pretty good. Snug in there. So I got those tolerances right. And I made that. I think the nut itself is 5.5. I think I did 5.7 for this particular application. They press in there pretty good and they do not come out. I bet you could press it out there. No bueno. I'm sure you heard that on the freaking mic though. It is what it is. They call it AMSR, whatever the hell it's called. Alrighty, and I think we have a full crankshaft. I guess I can hook it up to the drill and see how straight it really is. I think the problem being is the gluing area. If it ain't completely flat, like this piece, it's pretty straight. Stuff does clear up shiny after you do that though. Kind of like that. Learning something new about this resin stuff. Paint it on. You get a little brush and paint it on there and cure it. It actually cures shiny. Which I actually like better than the layers anyways. Which I'm sure somebody's gonna let me know on that one. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. I'm up for opinions and tips. So far, so good. Everything seems to be pretty straight. These are not binding up as they come out. Straight, so that means those are lined up. Theoretically, everything should line up. Theoretically. Here is the connecting rod going in. Oh, that's PLA. Let me get all this PLA stuff. Tolerances on that stuff are not as good as this. I still grab the PLA part. Okay. I can only hope that everything tightens up and moves. Does not give up. It's not true. Don't give up. And that just means we can move on to the block. With my 1.75 stroke, I think it's 1.75 diameter, 1.75 stroke. That's what it all ended up being. That's what I tallied up anyways. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm not, sick. And the rod cap is going in. I wanted to keep as much metal hardware as possible, just to kind of give it the realism. Put the motor together. Wow, okay. I thought the whole thought the whole thing came unglued for a second. You can do it. There we go. That one started. That one started. All right. Like I said, they're lock nuts, so I can kind of like fine tune this part, anyways. Oh, fine tune this part so it gets too tight that it won't rotate around it. I can kind of loosen up the gap, cheat a little bit, I guess. Like I said, this ain't gonna run. If I was gonna make a running engine, I would have, to start with, I would probably do ball bearings. I'd love to get a CNC machine. Start cutting out stuff like that. For a motor, a real motor. But I figured I'd start with this first. One, it's cheaper. Two, it's cheaper. And then three, it's cheaper. Oh, no. But in all seriousness, I'd like to build some real motors. Start with something small, work your way up. Let's see what you can accomplish with some CAD software. I mean, nowadays everything's used. CAD's used to build just about everything from still buildings to toys that kids play with. So, learning how to do that. Wow, got that. I can't really complain about that. It's CAD. Look at that. It's a little on the tight side, but I think over time, just like it is right now, it is wearing in there. Let's have some side to side, but that's kind of given, something like this. Now, got the crank done. And it spins pretty freely. I do like this resin because if you do have something that needs to clearance, move it around. Eventually it will clearance itself. But make it move just like this. Yeah, there's the crank for the 1-cylinder engine. Done. Ish. We're gonna see if it can handle the pressure of spinning around, moving the valve train. That's one thing that's going to be a real test and see if this is any good or not. Because if this binds up inside of here and doesn't allow it to rotate, then it could just snap this right off of there. But I imagine this should be this bond right here should be just as strong as this. Now, the second time I went, I needed to fix these two, so it was in there for like 30 seconds, and I was able to rip it apart and shave off a section of it, which I know the curing on it's like 40 milliseconds. So it was a little soft then, but it might not be penetrating straight through the piece. It takes a little while longer. So I think if that can hold up, that can hold up. I think if I put this in there for another 15 minutes, I'm hoping it's not going to be too much. It should be enough to cure it in there that it doesn't come apart. But me just playing with it right now, doesn't seem like it's having any issues with it. But it's definitely freeing it up, and it's not binding anywhere. There we go. Perfect. And like I said, that was the only color I had. And actually, that's blue and red mixed together. There we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to keep on moving along. I do recommend for sensitive and high clearance parts to use the resin instead of, which, give me some pointers for this PLA stuff. One, it's cheaper to fucking freaking use. But I would definitely like some pointers on how to set this up. I'm sure there's like 8 million YouTube videos I can watch. Figure this out. But a full-time job, and I'm not gonna sit around and watch YouTube videos all day. But I will make some just for fun. But till the next video, we're gonna start working on the block so that we can move this up and down very, very slowly. Till the next one.